Ladies and gentlemen, by the title of this video, we're going to be talking some shit about older people. Now, not all old people are bad. You know, there are some good boomers, but there's a lot of stuff online that makes it hard to like them. You may have seen that Twitter post where some boomer parents finally showed their son a bunch of college admission letters, and they never let him know that he made it into those colleges because they didn't want to be inconvenienced by the travel. Imagine on their deathbed, your shit boomer parents going,
good thing the schools are closed.
You got into a lot of good universities, but me and your mother just loved you too much. Hope the planet doesn't burn up. More recently, you may have seen this grim TikTok where a guy paints the reality of owning a home in 2025.
Me and my wife went and did the pre-approval process for a mortgage loan yesterday, and what the f*** are you talking about? It doesn't upset me for us because we aren't the average American family. I work a very niche job in the oil field. I make a very good income. My wife is a nurse. She does very good for herself, and combined, we have a very comfortable living in our home. But for the average American, this is way f***ing far out of reach. I try to explain this to my mom. She's telling me, oh, y'all just go get you a little $200,000 house. Mama, these $200,000 houses are f***ing rundown shack. We're looking at the numbers, looking at our income, looking at our credit, and they have us at $450,000, 5% down, which is 22.
Yeah. Okay. Huh? You want to buy a V-Buck,
thank God we got a little bit of money saved. They have our mortgage after PMI, after insurance, after taxes at $4,636 a month. What the fuck are you talking about, okay? And the thing is, we could afford it. We actually could afford to spend that money on a mortgage every month. But a $5,000 mortgage? Who are y'all selling these fucking houses to? Because we are outliers, okay? Not everybody is fortunate to have the jobs that we have. What about the regular fucking families that bring in combined $100,000 a year? They will never qualify for this. What the fuck is like?
I think online there's a lot of conversation about this. I think anyone young has seen all kinds of people talk about how it's not possible to own a home. But still, people have boomer parents and relatives that just simply... Nope, not real. So I thought, why don't we all come together? Good boomers, the rest of us, come together for a mutual hate browse for the situation we're in. We tapped into our chunky little analyst here, and we got it to pull all kinds of homes from all over America for $250,000 to see just what you can get in this country as of right now. Now, when you're looking for a $250,000 property, where do you start, right? So I thought to maybe give us a baseline, why don't we go to some major cities and see what you can get for 250 grand. So let's start in New York. First up, we have a 420 square foot suck shack out in Staten Island. And I think 420 is appropriate because maybe in the 80s you could have got away with selling drugs here, you know, some lame weed. That's not a viable business anymore. Now, this house is so good that they don't show you the inside. They will not give you a photo of the inside. The backyard is big enough so that you could form a line of at least 20 or 30 customers, depending on what business you run out of here. And, you know, not everything has to be drugs and sex. I mean, you could convert this to a restaurant. You know, maybe you put a small kitchen in there, a stationary food truck, if you will. You know, there's a lot of viable ways to at least pay the mortgage here.
Craigslist boils.
We can say that much. Hilarious to think what you could have got 30 or 40 years ago for 220 grand. And now it's just this. The seller of the home says, opportunity awaits this 1-bedroom, 1-bath bungalow in Midland Beach, conveniently located near schools, parks, beaches, shopping, and public transportation. Great investment opportunity, sold as is. Now, just going off the Zillow listings, it seems that you could actually maybe make something of this property. It's just on you to find a couple $1,000,000. For the low price of 250 grand, you have a multi-million-dollar opportunity if you have the means. But if that doesn't tickle your fancy, well, we got something else. We got a 754 square foot 2-bedroom unit, also in Staten Island. For $205,000, you can have this lovely 2-bedroom unit, which has what seems to be the remnants of a boba cafe. I think you get the dog as well. That dog don't look too happy to be there either. Jesus Christ. Oh, hey, guys. Neat nest. Hold up. Time out. If you're a first-time viewer of the channel, I'm a big fan of neat nests and neckbeard nests. We're going to have to go ahead and give this a quick rating. You know, I'm going to go 5 out of 10 on this one only because there's no gamer desk. I think a gamer desk would bring this up to a 7.5 out of 10 neat nest easily. Got to give kudos for the bank robber hat on the wall. I like that. That's a nice little addition. Anyways, let's look at the rest of the house. Now, I have to say, for the 205 grand, you're getting a nice spread in terms of style, all right? I like the spirit of this home. You know, Christmas every day, just keeping a positive attitude. I like that. Now, as far as the bathroom, I mean, all you're going to have to do is replace that top drawer. Other than that, seems like a perfectly good bathroom. I like that this bedroom has sort of a sex room / John Wayne Gacy type of vibe. And honestly, I mean, even that curtain on the right, it also gives me a medieval feel. I'm conflicted in terms of what I really gather from this room, but I know that one of you would do wonderful things with this room. A couple other lovely features is you're near a marsh park, so I would guess that you're getting nailed with mosquitoes all day, and you're right next to some train tracks. Have to question what type of sleep you're getting, but hey, a house is a house, am I right? Now we're talking about New York. You know, Staten Island isn't really New York, so let's take a look at an opportunity in the city. This listing does not mention the square footage because it's probably just better if you see it in person. For the low price of $250,000, you will get central AC in this room. You get a kitchen in this room, and you get a bathroom connected to this room. This isn't yours. It's communal. You get to go outside. And the entrance to the building is gorgeous. I'd love to see anyone that's older pretending that real estate isn't a fucking nightmare right now to show what they were living in at the same age. I'm just imagining some of your boomer parents doing the completely bullshit double down where they go, I'd live there if I had to. I'd live there if I had, you know, a lot of the easier for you to say stuff. There's no fucking way. But that's New York. You know, maybe there's other options, right? Let's check out Chicago. Chicago is the Midwest, so the bang for your buck is going to be a lot better. And here, for $250,000, you'll get a 2,400 square foot home, which, you know, 5-bedroom, 4-bath. The inside doesn't look too bad. Slightly older, but look at this. You got a great communal family space. This kid is interested in Scream, which makes me wonder what type of media access he has, because I didn't know anyone still watch those movies younger than 35. I like this. The dining room opens up into the living room. It's probably great on the holidays. Everyone's connecting, you know, family getting closer together. Laundry room. This is great as a parent. I think it's always good to have one location in the home that scares the fuck out of the child, and it has a necessary task in there. Go swap the laundry. You don't like swapping the laundry in the dark? Then do it earlier in the day. Go swap the laundry. I don't know what room of the house this is, but I appreciate this person's minimalism. I'm starting to feel like every one of these homes is going to have a neat nest, and it just compels me to rate it, you know? So we can kind of have a running tab on the side of all my neat nests that we find on these properties. This one's a 7 out of 10. Blank canvas, a lot to work with. I love the commitment to gaming. You know, it's just like up and game. Just straight to it. Great neat nest, 7 out of 10. Honestly, 8 out of 10 neat nest. Like this one a lot. Anyways, let's move on. It appears that maybe the house is split into two. I can't quite tell because this looks like another family room connected to a pseudo kitchen. Or maybe this is like a back house. The grayscale of this bathroom, it reminds me of like just apartment complexes, and it makes me feel existential dread, but that can be changed. Just a little bit of paint. Look at this. Got a backyard, plenty to work with. All this for the low price of $250,000 in what appears to be Southside Chicago. I'm not going to blanket say all of Southside Chicago is what Chief Keef and other Chicago drill rappers have rapped about, but now this looks like a decent option. You're pretty far outside the city. I would need someone from Chicago to comment on if this is convenient at all.
71st.
Something I know about people in Chicago is they all commute into the city. Most of them live in suburbs. But again, for $250,000 and a willingness to suffer through a commute, you can have your own place. I feel like this is one of those where someone older says, see, you just gotta look hard enough. But again, never a place that they would live. Shout out to the Midwest. It seems like you get some bang for your buck. Here's another option in Chicago. Same price range. You only get about 972 square feet. I like the medieval nature of this property. Weirdly, the outside feels like a home I would see in London. Somewhere, maybe not central London, but somewhere in England. But the inside is just that classic American gray. It's all just fucking gray. I like the different floor textures here. Wood into this nice marble, back into a softer wood. I don't mind that. I have no clue if that's the wallpaper or this door got hit with like a symbiote. That is a haunting border around that trim. Jesus Christ. Nothing a little gray paint can't take care of. And if you're wondering, hey, could this home possibly deliver me on a gray kitchen? Yes, it can. It can hit you with a gray kitchen. I like the skeleton. Keep that. If you're buying this place, keep this skeleton. Yo, the white handles on the knives, I don't hate that. That feels exotic. I like that, dude. If I'm buying this place, I want the skeleton and the white handled knives. Crazy, dude. And look at this, it's got a gym. That's actually very sick. It's something to have a home gym.
With
not a luxury that many enjoy. And for whatever size room this is actually so much to work with. Great job to the original owners. You will have to relocate the light switch so you can have a mirror in the bathroom. But you know, that's just a little electrical job. Nothing you can't afford, right? I don't know the nuance of Southside Chicago, but that's where these last two properties are at. You know, if you're thinking it's anything like a Roblox server, you think the whole place is a war zone, but I'm sure there are parts that are just fine. Now, on the surface, $250,000 for 1,000 square feet and a small backyard. On paper, it doesn't sound terrible. But again, you run these numbers through like a mortgage calculator, you're probably, by the time you pay this place off, going to have paid double, if not more. And it's just crazy to think that, again, someone or a family would have to give up $500,000 in earnings for 1,000 square feet. Now, 1,000 square feet, that ain't bad for like a couple or an individual, but committing to a place for 30 years, I mean, it's asking so much of you. And for the amount of money you're paying, I mean, you could argue that all your money is just going into the place. So do you even have any personal sense of freedom? You know, does it greatly change how you fucking operate in your day-to-day life? Do you start saying no to things just to smile and say, now I've got a house that's 45 minutes with traffic outside the city? Yay. Now, I think what's funny is maybe someone would say, well, you're looking in big cities. Obviously, it's going to be expensive to live there, despite, you know, larger cities probably having more opportunity for employment. Fine. Let's have it your way. Let's go to Des Moines, Iowa. Now, I'm going to put one on the board for the boomers and say, don't say there's nothing out there, because there's something, right? Have you been praying for an opportunity to own a home? Well, God is calling you, because I got an entire church for sale. $250,000. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 10,000 square feet. No one from Iowa talks like this. Imagine you and your people just posting up here, I don't know, to watch fucking Love Island or something. The stained glass is insane, dude. Look at this open space. Start a cult. What are you waiting for, bros? Now this makes sense because instant write-off. $250,000 out, $2.5 million in. Everything tax deductible. You just own a church. Look at this creepy ass room. How many people do you think got exorcised or potentially just died during a church dinner here? Oh wait, this is a bedroom. There is something Kubrick-esque about this room, man. Oh my god, this shit makes my hair stand up, dude. This image is a blue chew for all the hair on your body. 30 seconds of eye contact with this, you are a porcupine. Oh my fucking god. Yo, the stained glass, I kind of love it. Look at this, dude. You can run a Depop store out of here. Gotta love this, the classic summer camp shower where you hold your fucking balls with pure fear and agony, praying that people don't come in and prank you. Not speaking from personal experience. If you buy this place, you should get to keep the organ. Not the organs buried underneath, but the actual organ. And it's got an elevator. Look at this. 70s vibe. Creepy as hell. You don't know if this is going to an executive office or your last minutes on Earth. Look at this beautiful goon cave right here. And it's got a pole in the center. So if things are going real bad, you can start live streaming. Yo. They got 3 fucking... I know it's a bunch of dumbass dudes living in here. Every desk got the fucking gamer setup. This would be great, bro. In your early 20s, you and the guys just fucking hold up in the church. No pool table. These guys are fucking up. This dinner space is great, though. Massive commercial kitchen. I'm in love with this place, dude. I want this. I'm leaving LA. Now, where in Des Moines, Iowa is this? Let's just have a gander. I love the description of this place. Brick residence. Features prominent architecture and gorgeous stained glass throughout. New renovations include chef's kitchen with stainless appliances, full bathrooms with showers, laundry room, quality flooring, plumbing, updated electrical, fresh paint throughout, landscaping, and more. Living room designed for acoustics features 30-foot tall cathedral ceiling. Main level master features 2 large sitting rooms. You just want to chill. Separate closets, new bathroom with a walk-in tile shower, and antique vanity. Carrier heat pump and gas boiler, architectural roof. I guess was built in 2018. It's zoned for residential. I mean, this thing is set to go. Now you're all the way in Sac City. Which, I mean, if you're running a fraternity out of here, that's probably the best place you could be. It's home to the world's largest popcorn ball. That's cool. Oh, it's just a cool 2 hours from Des Moines. So any shot at having a job, it's just a cool 2 hour, which is a normal commute. Well, what are you bitching about? 2 hours is a super normal commute. I don't know why you're complaining, you know? We used to walk 7,300 miles in the snow to get to school. I don't know why you're bitching about driving in a fancy old car 2 hours to your job. You should be happy that you have a job in the first place. Corporations are the ones creating the opportunity. You should have some respect. I don't know why everybody's so mean to Jeff Bezos. He's out there making sure everybody can eat. He's doing what most others can't. You want to know another place buzzing with opportunity in terms of places to live and a home to grow in with a family? Let's talk about Oklahoma City. $250,000 gets you a 1,300 square foot home, which on the outside looks like something you'd make in Minecraft. I feel this would be designed by your 10-year-old cousin. But don't let the stone architecture deter you, because whoever designed this home was... But don't let the stone architecture... I feel this would be...
This is a house?
Designed by your 10-year-old cousin. But don't let the stone architecture deter you, because whoever designed this home was thinking, right? Is the backyard fucking frightening? Yeah, but just look past that, because it would be your backyard. You have a stable for a war chariot and various horses. If you want to torture someone, there's a great spot for that as well. You even got a PVC pipe and miscellaneous copper to lure in any potential thieves into your torture den. But the inside of the home looks great. Looks like any other fucking house in the valley in Los Angeles. This could be in Calabasas. I'm not shitting you. Beautiful starter home, paper thin walls. So if you're piping down your partner, anyone staying for the weekend would definitely know. Brand new appliances, wonderful fridge. I mean, for 250 grand, this looks pretty good. Now, I say this with love in my heart and personal experience. Shout out to all my people in Oklahoma City and Tulsa. I think we know what the real challenge of having this beautiful home would be. It would be living in Oklahoma City. And anyone there would tell you that. I'm not saying Oklahoma City is a bad place to live. I'm saying living there takes some grit. So for the 250 grand, it would be on you to keep your sanity and find employment. But on the upside, you'd have a beautiful home. And shout out to Bricktown. Some great pool tables in Bricktown. Now, if you want to keep on the subject of bang for your buck, we got to head over to New Orleans. You can have this wonderful home, which will probably cost you $1 million in Second Life or hours of time in The Sims. But in real life, you can have it for the low, low price of $230,000. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 5,000 square foot home. And let me tell you, the realtors did a fantastic job with the photos. When looking at pictures of a home, I think it helps to know where the sunlight is coming from. And the realtors have made sure that you know where the light is coming from. They've put Michael Bay flares on all the windows. But never mind that. This house is beautiful. This looks like the courtyard to a cartel boss's home. It also could be a scene in Squid Games. Honestly, the low res of these photos is just making me think of every cartel shame killing I've watched online. And that is what all these rooms feel like. I don't know what it is about low-res photos. If you took these on a higher-res camera, I might not feel so bad, but each of these images gives me a really bad feeling. I actually not spent enough time in New Orleans to even comment on what this neighborhood would be like. Judging by the ceiling fan and the general attitude of you figure it out, I'm wanting to guess that owning this home might take a little bit more than $250,000. Now, let's look at our spectrum. A single room in New York, a whole church 2 hours outside of Des Moines, Iowa, the Minecraft home in Oklahoma City proper, and the Grand Theft Auto Vice City house up in northeast New Orleans. I feel it's pretty clear that at $250,000, you're going to be at least a half an hour from the city center. And if not that, you're going to be in a city that maybe it just has a lower population, so maybe there's less to do and less opportunity. But we might be thinking too narrow, because when you own a home, it doesn't have to be on land. What if it's on the water? Okay, up here in Portland, Oregon, you can live on the river for $220,000. This is a section of an old Chinese shipping boat that has been repurposed and rezoned as land to live in. Now, from the outside, this house looks great. For $220,000, I would love to live on a river. The only downside, I would say, is that haunting gray. Gray, I don't know if it's millennials or who's to blame, but gray, we've got to work together, guys, to get gray out of homes. It's fucking... If you have a friend that lives in a gray house or apartment, just put your hand on their shoulder and say, bud, I'll help you paint this thing. Just anything but this. Let's add some color to your life. Let's smile. 220 G's, this, I think, is reasonable to attach yourself to for 30 years. I think you could live on waterfront for 30 years. 880 square feet, some would say that's a bit of a smaller home, but, I think it's a sacrifice that's worth making to live on the water. Honestly, out of everything we've seen here, this is probably the most appealing, right? Sure, it's a cozy living space, but you get a lot of amenities and you're near a lot of stuff. Now, you're away from Portland downtown, which these days might be a good thing. I've been there recently. It's feeling a bit tough over there. Godspeed to you all. You're on your own little island here, Hayden Island. I just wonder if this island is man-made and then in 10 years the water line raises and destroys your house and the bank goes. And if you're a boomer that's being forced to watch this, stand up from the couch and start punching the air. Feel like you got one on the board, because you did. I mean, this place looks great. We've covered a lot of ground, Midwest, a little bit of the South, Pacific Northwest, Northeast. We gotta hit South proper. You gotta go to the place where everything's bigger and your money goes a longer way. We're talking about Texas. If you have an appetite to live in Fort Worth, Texas, you can deal with the humidity. Brother cousin, you can live in a Pokemon healing center. This place is huge. The current owner is among the first 20 to use Midjourney to create Pokemon porn. But if you can get past that, it's a massive place. This living room is huge, flows right into the kitchen. Gorgeous. Older kitchen, but who gives a shit? I get a nostalgic feeling from this. Look at that dishwasher. Can't be any newer than 1982. That's when Teflon had cancer in it, guaranteed. That's when Tupperware was made out of airplane plastic. It's probably tough enough to convert it to a safe. So, worthwhile vintage appliance. You got a second story, littered with Pokemon paraphernalia, top-tier goon cave, 10 of 10 neat nest. Look at that guitar. You know, buddy shreds. Man, this person is just never growing up. Pokemon everywhere. Oh my God, dude. Texas is one of the states that lends to the boomer belief that you can get a lot for 250 grand. But again, it all depends on your appetite and where you're willing to live. You just have to be willing to put up with humidity that was created by Satan. That's all. Texas in the summer, you know, the amount of sweat that's produced in your gooch, I think it starts to form wax. You could build a candle out of what goes on down there. It's challenging. And I don't think that's just because I live in California. I think it'd be challenging for most people. I think it would even break some of Asia's best, and they deal with crazy humidity over there. That said, Texas has a lot of options for 250 grand. It's just you got to deal with that weather. I think maybe that's the point that people want boomers to understand. It's not that you necessarily can't get a place for a decent price. It's that you're going to have to make some kind of brutal sacrifice. You might have to make a major change. You got to go to an entirely different state. You got to live outside the city. Maybe you got to live in an area that isn't safe. And again, a boomer might push back and go, well, I had to make sacrifices too. I think that's the crux of it. Even before you get to the point of sacrifices, you got to be able to afford it. The bottom line is money doesn't go as far, and I think some boomers just don't have empathy for that. It's not that people aren't willing to work for it. It's that even when they do, they're left with shit options. Even referring to the guy at the beginning of this video. Him and his wife have very good jobs, and they're looking at homes, you know, at $500,000, and while they can afford it, the reality is setting in that all that hard work just goes into the home. And it might even make you question why even get a house in the first place. You know, you're just working to live. It doesn't feel like you can win. That being said, guys, it's time to pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. You and your friends piece up to own the Pokemon house, stream yourself, cracking Pokemon card packs, streaming the games, every edition of Pokemon, 24/7, anything you can do to afford that home. Start an Etsy store with custom Pokemon body pillows, all right? Charge extra for an embedded fleshlight. Not only are there affordable homes out there, they can all be converted into businesses, because at the end of the day, that's what America's all about. Buying your living space and turning every facet of your life into an LLC. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.
That's a good video. Hello?
I'm smelling like a whole pound, but bitch, I'm on. Go that bed, feel 200 dollars, put you on. Money on their head, I put them on T's homes. I been like